have to make sure that we're looking on both the surface using aerial and surface vessels, but then expanding into underwater search as well.
Right now, it is a race against time to find the missing submarine that vanished in the Atlantic Ocean. We expect another update from the crews who are trying to find it at 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central. We'll have that for you here on NewsNation. In the meantime, here's what we know. 5 people were on board when this vessel went missing during a dive. They were touring or set to tour the wreckage of the Titanic, about 12,000 feet below sea level. Joining me now to talk more about the search and the magnitude of this type of operation, retired U.S. Navy Captain David Marquet. He's a former submarine commander as well. He is also the author of Turn the Ship Around, a true story of turning followers into leaders. Thanks for being with us this morning, Captain. I think in scenarios like this, they plan for every possible likelihood of events that could happen. Is this one of them, that it just disappears?
That the submarine just disappears?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think eventually we'll find them. It's a very tough problem. And we can eventually hook the submarine and raise it up to the surface. But it's a desperate race against time. It seems like they buttoned up about 48 hours ago, maybe 54 hours ago. So it was early Sunday morning. And so they've gone through about half of the oxygen that they have available to them. And if you imagine a spacecraft goes around the far side of the moon and doesn't come out, you got to find where they went. And then we got to get someone there to pull them up. They can't rescue themselves. They can't even open the hatch from the inside. It has to be open from the outside. So they're relying on the rest of us to find them and then get them back up to the surface.
Right. As I understand it, this submarine doesn't have GPS. They rely on those on the surface to know where they are. 400 miles off the Canadian coast. They're searching 900 miles as well, and about 12 to 13,000 feet deep. There are provisions that they would have had on board. Talk about what they might have if, and we pray, they are still alive and waiting for rescue.
Right. Well, number one, they have an oxygen supply that's designed to last for 96 hours. And they have what we call CO2 scrubbers. They scrub the carbon dioxide that we exhale out of the air. The design for those probably matches the length of the oxygen. So what they want to do is remain calm, take naps, reduce the amount of oxygen that they're breathing in and the amount of CO2 that they're breathing out, and try and extend that as long as possible. That's number one. Number two is, if possible, send a signal to where they're located. That will certainly help the rescuers with one of the big problems, which is finding them. They might have a pinger. That's a lot of submarines have pingers that we can turn on, underwater telephones, or simply banging on the hull with a wrench rhythmically. It sounds like it's human noise. And the sonar buoys that the Canadians and the Americans have dropped would then located, and we'd then be able to find them. What's troubling is we don't seem to be hearing those kind of noises.
To your first point, remain calm, take naps, try to use as little oxygen as needed. Easier said than done. How do you instruct people to remain calm when they are trapped in this capsule, possibly thousands of feet underwater, without, at least according to the website, a whole lot of training?
Yeah, I don't think the people that are on the ship are naive about what they're getting into. They're professional crew members, and the British explorer who's done other trips like this, including trips up in the space. So I think of any group of humans that can probably do the right thing, my confidence is in them to be able to do this. But it's got to be, it's pitch black. It smells bad. It's scary. There's a lot of uncertainty. And so your brain, you really have to control your brain's activation in this case.
Right. And they have no control over the vessel, right? They can't steer it, guide it, or know where they're going or how fast. It's a scary situation, as you said, a race against the clock. David Marquet, thank you for your perspective. We're going to watch this throughout the hours and hope to learn a positive resolution soon.
So for the best.
Yes,
thank you.
Indeed. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.